Hey everyone, welcome back to the second video in our two-part series on how to edit your photos using Photoshop Express. In this video, I will show you some more advanced tools you can use to fine-tune your photos even more than just using the presets we covered in the first video. I'm going to start by reopening Photoshop Express where I had left off on a photo session I already had started. When you leave Photoshop Express, without saving your photo, it'll ask you if you want to resume your previous session when you reopen the app. So far on this photo, all I have done is applied a preset filter and cropped it. If you don't have a photo loaded yet for this video, go ahead and pause this and load a photo, add a preset filter, and come back. We can pick up here. So now that you have it loaded and you're all ready to go, the settings we are going to look at today are all the way on the bottom. You'll see an icon that looks like 3 lines with 3 circles on them. If you click on that, it will bring you into the more advanced settings of the lighting, the color, and the effects and everything. This first selection that we have here is one of the premium features that I had talked about in the previous video. This is a premium feature that is only available for a limited time. It allows you to select different things to focus on in the picture when you're editing the light and the color. Right now we have it set to edit the whole photo, which we're actually going to keep on that, but if you wanted to, you could focus just on the background or the subject, and I'm going to show you that really quick on how to set that up. If you have a subject in the photo that you only want to edit the color on or the lighting on, you can click on where it says subject on the right-hand side of the screen, and it will give you this red coloring to your photo. This is called a mask. A mask will allow you to edit whatever is underneath that mask. Right now it's just on the flowers and the trees, and in order to change this, down underneath where it says selection tools, you can click the brush, and the slide bar will allow you to adjust the brush size to the size that you want, and you can add to this mask. And whatever you add, that will be added to your mask of what you're going to be changing the color to. You can also remove, if you hit the minus bar underneath where it says selection tools, you can then use the brush to delete your mask. You can also do this with the background if you only want to adjust the background. Once you have your mask, if you're using a mask, you can actually click on the icon on the right-hand side right above the slide bar that looks like 2 diamonds with the little blue star that we talked about. If you click that, it will get rid of these and it will show you your full photo. From here, we're actually going to change it back to full, and I'm going to go into the light. In the light settings, you can change exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. Exposure is going to be changing the exposure so you can get more of a light in there or less light. Contrast is going to take the lights and the darks and it's going to either diffuse them or make them more dark and light. Highlights is just going to ramp up your highlights in the photo. Shadows, again, just the shadows. Whites and blacks are close to highlights and shadows, but they're focused more on the color. After you get those settings done, you can go to color. Color, we will see temperature, tint, vibrance, and saturation. If you click on temperature, this will allow you to change the temperature of your photo from either a warm light or a cool light. All the way to the right, you'll get more of a warm. All the way to the left, a cool. Tint will allow you to change the colors in the photo. Depending on the color of the slide bar, you'll get a different color. All the way to the left, you'll get more green. All the way to the right, you'll get more of a purple or a pink. Vibrance will allow you to make the colors more vibrant. If you go all the way to the left, you'll get more of a diffuse color. All the way to the right, more of a vibrant color. Saturation is very close to the same thing, except for it takes out the color completely. So if you slide the slide bar all the way to the left, it'll take all the colors out. All the way to the right, it will make those colors even more saturated. Next one over is called effects. Effects, you have clarity, dehaze, fade, and grain. Clarity is going to allow you to make things more clear. All the way to the right, you can see that in the photo, the highlights and the shadows get more of a defined edge to them. All the way to the left, it gives it more of this, what I call a dreamy look to it. It makes it very fuzzy. Dehaze will take out some of the atmosphere or add atmosphere to it. So if you go all the way to the right, it makes it a lot more clear. It takes out a lot of the atmosphere. And if you go all the way to the left, it will add more atmosphere. Fade will do just that. You draw it all the way to the right, and it will actually fade the colors. Grain actually adds a film grain to your photo. You can't really see it here, but if we were to zoom in on the photo, you would be able to see the grain. How you zoom in is if you take your thumb and your index finger on the screen and pull them apart, you can actually zoom in. And to zoom out, you just pull them back together. But you can see that it kind of put a grain on there. And if we stay zoomed in and I bring that back down, you'll see that grain goes away. Next is details. Details, we have sharpen, reduce luminance, and reduce color noise. Once you hit sharpen, you'll notice that it's zoomed in on the photo. You can click and drag anywhere on your photo with your finger to go to a different spot on the photo. But with the slider bar, you'll be able to see how it sharpens the colors and the edges of everything more. You can especially see it in the branch in the center of the screen right now, where it has that harsh white edge around it. If we go to reduce luminance, what it will do, it'll reduce the amount of luminance on it. So the thing is with these particular settings is you drag your bar, but you won't see the change until you let go of it. So keep that in mind with these three specific settings. Reduce color noise does just that. If you have a lot of noise in the colors, it will actually smooth that out and make the colors a lot smoother. Over from that, we have what's called the HSL. HSL stands for hue, saturation, and luminance. And in here, this is very, very advanced. You can actually change the hues of specific colors in your photo. You can change the saturation of specific colors in your photo and the luminance of specific colors. So since we have a lot of pink in this photo, I'm just going to use that as an example. So with the hue, if you have the pink dot highlighted above where it says hue, saturation, and luminance, the slide bar, you'll be able to change that where it changes the colors of the pinks in the picture. So right now they're more of a purple, but if you drag them over, they'll become more of a red. Same with saturation. All the way to the left, it'll take out a lot of the saturation in the pinks in the photo. And all the way to the right, it'll really make those red. Luminance, if you drag it to the right, you'll see that it takes out some of the luminance. All the way to the left, it makes it a little bit more dark. If we scroll over past that, you'll see the word split tone. If you go to split tone, what this is going to do is allow you to have two main tones in the photo. You'll see this color bar. Down at the bottom corners of these color bars, you'll see two circles. If you click and drag those two circles, you'll see the colors in your photo change. One hue we're going to make green, and one circle will make a purple. Once you have those two set, you can then go to the slide bar and scroll it towards either the green or the purple, or keep it in the middle and it'll have both of those colors. So the next one over that you see on the screen here is called blur. We're actually not going to cover that because that is actually an iOS only. It is a really great tool if you do have an iOS device. You can always email us at the library and we can go over it with you. But for the purpose of this video, I am keeping everything cohesive to both iOS and Android users. We're going to go to the one beyond that called Vignette. If you click on that, this one's going to give you kind of the opportunity to make fuzzy edges. So we have 4 settings underneath Vignette. The first one's amount, midpoint, feather, and roundness. The amount is going to be, obviously, the amount of vignette that we add. If you take your slide bar and slide it either way, you'll either get a white vignette or a black vignette. And that's going to be your amount. The midpoint is going to bring in those edges of your vignette closer to the center or further away. Feather is going to make it either have a hard edge or a soft edge. The further to the left, hard edge. Further to the right, soft edge. And the roundness is obviously the roundness of the corners. You can either have it round like it is right now, or you can make it more of a square to go towards the corners more. The next one over you see, this is also going to be iOS only. All of these iOS features that are only available for iOS users, if you wanted to learn more, you could email us and we could help you out, or you could just dive into it yourself if you feel adventurous. And that covers the last of the tools that I wanted to show you. This series should have given you a lot of amazing tools to help you edit your photos on the go. Feel free to dive into the settings and tools more on your own. The options and combinations are endless. Once again, thank you for watching from all of us here at the Elmhurst Public Library. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy.